Hi guys, so today's review is on Sever, the final book in the Chemical Run trilogy by DeStefano. It was published earlier this year by Harper Voyager. If you've been watching my videos on this channel for a while, you'll know that I absolutely adore these books. Wither was probably one of my favorite books of last year. It wasn't published last year, but one of my favorite books I read last year. I loved it so much. I love Ryan, the lead character's voice. I think it's such an interesting story. Basically, the premise of the trilogy is that it's a post-apocalyptic world where apparently the only country that exists anymore is continental America, as in no Hawaii or Alaska. Women only live to the age of 20, men only live to the age of 25, that they're still in the point where the first generation is still around, as in there are still people who are growing older, but all their children can't live past those ages. Also in this world, it is fairly common for there to be a van to come pick up a bunch of girls, for a man to then have multiple sister wives. And in the first book of the series, Ryan gets picked up and is taken to live at the Vaughn mansion, where she is one of four wives, and it's miserable for her. She's taken away from her twin brother. All she wants is to get back to him. In the first book, she meets Gabriel, who is one of the servants in the house, and they eventually run off together, and that's what happens during the second book. And then there's the third one. From here on out, there's probably gonna be quite a lot of spoilers, so I apologize. Or you could just not watch this and go read the books because they're wonderful. At the end of the second book, Ryan is picked up and brought back to the Vaughn mansion and tested on. Her husband, Lyndon, doesn't even know that it's happening. Eventually he finds out and he breaks her out of his father's, like, chemical treatment prison, and they escape, and that's where we pick up. This was a really lovely conclusion, I think. It was slower than the other two, I think, and I know that's a huge criticism of the first two, is that they're too slow and that people don't like them very much, but I really like them, and I think this was a wonderful conclusion, albeit a bit slow. I definitely think that it needed more Gabriel. I fell so in love with the character over the last book especially, and I'm upset that he barely was in this book at all, which, yeah, really crushing for me. There was a little discrepancy I had with some of the characters. I never really understood how Rowan, who is Ryan's brother, felt about Vaughn, because we find out in this book that they do have a connection, and that Rowan has been going off with Vaughn to allow him to test on him, because Vaughn always wanted to test on Ryan. He found out that she had a twin brother, etc. And he seems to really like Vaughn, but then when something happens to Vaughn, it's just kind of left that way, and I think I would have enjoyed more background on that. Also, I would have liked more on her parents. You find out something pretty big about her parents, and it left me feeling with a really bad taste in my mouth, and I'd like to know more about that. So those are my two criticisms, is that two of the characters, or three I guess, were a little for me. I'm trying really hard not to spoil this too much, guys. I'm sorry if this is pretty vague. My favorite thing about the series is that it's really not perfect. They're not love stories. There is love, and there are these beautiful characters who fall in love, and their love is beautiful, and I love that, but it never felt like a love story. I think a lot of YA can fall into that trap of just end up feeling like contemporary love story, even though it's A, this is dystopia, B, it shouldn't be about the love in this situation. There's so much going on that can't be a focus point. The writing is absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to see what DeStefano does next, and I'm just really excited. Real excited. Overall, I gave Sever 4 or 4.5 out of 5 stars. You'll see it right here. I can't remember what I actually gave it. I'm really prepared. And I can't wait to reread the series eventually, and it'll be beautiful because I'll just be able to continue on through all of them. Please leave a comment if you've read these books and tell me what you felt about the final book. I think it was pretty good. I really liked Reed. I really liked the discoveries and how the story ended. I think it was really well done. And I definitely cried at a certain character's passing, which I didn't expect. If I had known that that was gonna happen early on, I don't think I would have cried, but I did, and it was sad. Real life, guys. It's beautiful. Except that it's not real life, it's a book. See you guys tomorrow.